everybody, AwesomeWe360 here, self-proclaimed awesomest person on YouTube. Okay, so this video is not going to be a gaming video, but is going to be a video on my system. Because, as you have seen my last video, right? Just kidding. Anyways, in the last video I said I was going to switch to Linux as my main operating system, and thus I have. And this video just, because that was just last week, so this is my week impression, my 1 week impression, mind you, on how Linux is in general. So I'm using a variant of Linux called Linux Mint Cinnamon, and Linux Mint is the main branch, Cinnamon is the type of desktop, so Linux Mint would be the main system, and Cinnamon is the one makes it look all Windowsy. So as you can tell, now you can see the system here. Anyways, so what I mean by more Windowsy is, as you can see, the bottom bar here, the menu stylization, things like that. And also other things such as it's a little harder with 3 displays, but if you have solid surfaces to ram it on, then it's easier to you have the snapping feature like with Windows 7 has, which is really cool, because that's one of the things that I know would be really hard to deal with not having, because snapping, once you start using it, is really quite awesome. But it also has some better features too. Like, if you, I'll open something quickly, like so gotta wait for it to load. There we go, it's loaded fully. So you see the software manager here. This is where you get most of all your programs on the system. So if you want to get a game, you can look through the category of games. I'm sure there's a lot of cool games that you can do. Oh, that was my phone, sorry. Maybe if you want to get, say, a board game, and you want to get this chess, which I've tried, and it really kicks the shit out of you. Even on easy, though I know I don't play properly, but still, kind of hurts. Anyways, so games like that, casual to advanced games, you could even get Wine, which is a compatibility layer for Windows, which will make it so you could pretty much play Windows games. It's a little hard to fully work Wine. Some programs, if you like, say for example, Retro Game Crunch, the game that I started playing on my channel. I installed that and I started playing that. Just worked. Other games, like, what was that? A lot of other games, including Alien Isolation, that I do own, I've tried, and instantly crashes, so something like that. There is this, it's Play on Linux. It's supposed to, per game, it's supposed to help fix any errors that Wine might have, any deficiencies. So things like that, for example, do help a lot with the transition, but there are so much games, like, if you just look through them all, so much games, so much that are just for Linux and they're all free, by the way, so it's really quite cool. So it's like civilization type game and first person shooter. You got everything. So if you're not 100% invested in the AAA titles that are only exclusive on Windows, then maybe hopping onto Linux might be a good thing for you, because we all know that Windows is best, because they're trying to do a lot of shady things, Microsoft, and like take your information. Like a lot of apps you get, they know exactly what you get, and they know what you do with them, so they could tailor ads or whatever, which, as far as I've seen, and I'm sure that means like pretty much everything, but as far as I've seen, I can only say is I have not seen any adware at all on this system. So I can open that. So another reason why I opened this and the other program is because, as I said, you download all your packages, all your applications through here. So this is, think of this as the easy way. This one right here, Software Manager. So you can clearly see what it is. If you open it up, you can see an exact description of whether or not it's installed, screenshots that are from, and personal reviews of people who have actually used this program. So it's really quite awesome, this one. And you can also see in general whether it's highly rated or lowly rated. You could probably, yeah, you, I don't know if there's a sort by rating, though it almost seems like it's doing that already, but if you keep on going down, you can see that. Let's go down. There should be eventually. This is just. There's something with 0 ratings now. But if you go down far enough, you'll actually start to see. Can I just hold it down? No? Oh, there's drivers and stuff for printers. But anyways, if you go down low enough, I don't know. I don't know where it is offhand, but I will say that there are for sure people that do post negative reviews, so you can see those too. So it's not just one-sided. So that's the simple version, and the less simple version is this, but you can also see that, for example, if I wanted to get this, it does give you a small, it gives you your description or whatever, and also if you click mark for install, it will also tell you exactly what also needs to be installed with it to make it work, and it will install all this stuff, which is really cool. So you have less work to do. You don't have to go through and see all your dependencies. You need this to install to work this. It just installs everything that it says it needs. And there's more things for Linux than just this. It's not, this isn't all that Linux has to offer. There's also, let me go like this, and go like, where was it? Repositories. So you can also add more PPAs or whatever. You can find those yourself. And like, for example, I got Java from, you know, the regular Java. It's from, now I can't remember names off the top of my head. It used to be Sun, now it's whatever. Anyways, it's the regular Java that everyone uses. So, and you could also get different PPAs for different things, like Dolphin emulators, so stuff like that. And the good thing about downloading things through the software, like the package manager or the software manager, which all downloads from the same place, is right here. This is the system update manager. So if I just do this quickly, this shows updates for every single package installed using that. Not just system, but everything. So I'm using OBS right now, as you can see, OBS 0.13.1 for Linux. So if there was a new update, which I'm not sure if there is, it would be able to update straight from here. I don't have to go to the website and download anything new. I don't have to update from the program. It's just automatically updated with the system, which is one of the great pluses of Linux. I think I have to point out that it is a Debian Linux, which I think differs. I think that's where all this updating can come into play, such as Ubuntu or the Linux I'm using, Mint. That's all those different types. You'll be able to do this automatic updates and packages and whatnot. There's different Linuxes, so I'm not speaking for all of them. So, just the ones I've used use this. So it is a lot easier. So now we're going to go to the negatives, I'll say. Well, not negatives, but sort of hiccups. Not all programs work 100% as they're open sourced and openly developed or whatnot. Such as this, for example. I clicked render, and I'll get to this in a minute, but this is to open file dialog, and it crashes the program. So, anyways. And another hiccup is this. You know how Windows in pathing? So, you're downloading a program and you have an SSD boot and then a big huge hard drive for all your programs or whatnot. So your SSD boot would obviously be C, because C is the main program. Okay, that was the only one to upgrade, and I'll do that later. Anyways, updates are pretty easy. Anyways, so pathing, like install all your main system files to C and install everything else to D or whatever. It's a little harder, but pretty much the same, because this is my OBS folder, where this is the video that's being done right now. That's what it's titled. Anyways, and this is the pathing to it. It's on a separate hard drive. So, that's the pathing. So media emulators, which is the name of the hard drive, and the folder OBS for our recordings. So, this is the file system. So this is where everything is. So, where is it? It is home. So /home/name is usually the main hard drive, wherever this is where all the local stuff will be downloaded. And on any other hard drive, it will be /media, and then /Christopher, and then it will go to whatever media or media /emulators, depending on where it's mounted, I guess. So like this, for example, is an actual, this is formatted to the Linux format, and all these other are NTFS, but these are both USB ones, and this one's internal, so it all depends where, but it's not that hard to figure out where everything is mounted, so it will be easy enough to switch from pathing everything to D whatever folder to media, your name, whatever folder, so it shouldn't take too long to get your head wrapped around it. So anyways, that's going to be pretty much it, I'll say. Is it difficult? Is it different? Yes. Do I recommend it? Yes. Because I heard down the pipeline from, if you watch some random YouTubers, well, there's a lot of different YouTubers you could watch. I think Tech Syndicate's one of them, that do talk a lot about the different futures. The future of, because they know some insider information or something about Windows or whatever. They see the trends, and they know that maybe in a year's time or something like that, after Windows 10 has run out its usefulness, the next implementation of their system, from what I heard, will be subscription based, so you're paying for your own operating system. Don't quote me on this, but in general, I don't think that's really good. You could get a lot of good, solid use out of this. Like, for example, all your stuff is here. You could do everything. You don't need to pay for Office. You get a free variant, though this is available on Windows, as well as many other variants, including OpenOffice from, I can't remember the name offhand. Oracle, yeah. From people who create Java. Oracle. Anyways. And also, there's a lot of options either way, but this system is your own. It's not, they can't really get your, that's my phone again. They can't really steal as much information, or any information from you, as much as Windows can, because if you see on Windows, their security and their systems or whatever, I don't know how to word this, but there's many other YouTubers that do. They have a lot of privacy issues, that's it. And there are different hacks or whatever you could use, different programs you could use to disable that, but that should never be a thing. Your system shouldn't be a place where they could steal information relevant to marketing. They shouldn't be able to use your system to get ideas on how to market for you. You should be able to do whatever you want on your system without anyone judging you, making a quick buck off you, just anything. It's just dumb the way that everything's going, so that's one of the reasons why I switched. It's definitely a little harder, like what I said with Wine and whatnot. It takes a little bit of getting used to on those programs, but you can find a lot of native programs that do the same. It could be even better depending on what the program was in the first place. Like, there's many programs that you could get for like hundreds of bucks that is freeware. Well, I wouldn't say freeware because it's all open source. So, but anyways, a lot of free stuff you could get. So, in general, why pay when you could get the same functionality from something free? What I recommend is maybe not so power users. Well, maybe power users can use this for sure, because a lot more headroom for programming and changing everything up. Like, for example, I could go here and go and just change everything, icons, just everything could be changed, and this is all native. So if you like that sort of thing, then for sure this will be interesting to you. But for the basic users who just want to turn on the machine, maybe check a couple emails, then turn off the machine or whatever, this will work for you too. It comes pre-built, the system, with a lot of different things. Like, for example, this, I don't want to click it because I don't know what kind of emails I've gotten. Probably just Steam or whatever, but... And you can get Skype, and you can get everything. Chromium, which is what Google Chrome is based off of. Chromium is the main part. And you could still log in if you want to. And get all your Google bookmarks, your histories, everything. Just, it's... In the past, it was a little harder, but nowadays, it's just pretty much on par with Windows, without all the privacy leaks and issues and all that. So, I definitely recommend you trying it out at least, VM or otherwise. VMware Player is a free VM player, so you can definitely test out everything for free there. You can go to Linux. I'll have a link in the description for this, but Linux Mint. So, in general, you could just go to the Linux Mint homepage, and you could get the ISO for Linux Mint, and you could try it out for free. And everything just so much. You could just try it. It's free. If you don't like it, you don't have to switch to it. If you do like it, it's easy enough to switch. You could just pop in the disk. I know with Ubuntu you can do this while in system and install. It will install a backend or whatever, so you can use both at the same time or whatever. But you just restart your computer with the disk inside and everything just works from there. It's a live installer, so which means it will boot you to a system running off your RAM, and then you could just test out from there too. You can't download as much or do as much because it's only running off your RAM. It's not changing anything on your hard drive, so. But yeah, you could get a taste of how everything works. And I think that's pretty much it. Sounds pretty much it to me, so I guess I'll see you guys later. I'm not pushing you to go download it, but if you want to, for sure go. And also, while you're at it, if you want to subscribe to me, or maybe just even simply like the video, if you thought my rant or whatnot, my commentary on Linux in general is, if you like it, then for sure give it a like. And there's also something on YouTube, it's called comments, and you can comment your own experience if you want, or comment simply you don't want to switch, or you do, and here's the reason why. But yeah, that's definitely something you can do. it would definitely give more traffic to my channel, but you do you. So, I also want to say that, just before we go, that I know lighting is a bit off, because I do have my OBS open on my right monitor, so I do see that. I think that's just due to my webcam, because it's a Microsoft Live Cam. So, not all your hardware is 100% guaranteed to work with Linux, depending on what you have, of course. I own a Razer Tartarus. Yeah. There. That, if you have it generally set up or whatever, it might work, but I had it set up and I had it switched to one of my presets on my old system, and it's stuck on that preset because Razer Synapse is not supported on Linux, not yet at least, and not supported on Wine, not yet at least, as far as I could tell. So setting up macros on might not work as well, but I'm sure you could find a workaround, as many other people already have. I've seen there's different, while I was checking, you could find definitely different things, different programs that will do the same functionality without, unfortunately, the cloud capabilities of Synapse. So your usage may vary depending on every piece of hardware. It supports pretty much everything, I'd say. Your monitors will be pretty much supported 100% of the time, as long as they're... I'm sure, just in general, everything works. As long as 800 by 600, I think, is the minimum you can have, so if that's your max resolution, upgrade already. We're living in a world where you can have 2,000 times better the quality of your CRT monitor. You know, this is the face, this is the back. You can have all that in that. It's a new age, my friends. Anyways, any modern hardware should run this fine, is what I'm saying. So in general, again, this is me ranting after I already said my outro, but subscribe for more, definitely, because I will definitely be running some games, like this one and this one, for sure, in future episodes. This one's really cool. Anyways, in future episodes, those will definitely be a thing, but subscribe to not miss it, and also to help the channel grow. So yeah, that's it. 30 minutes later, that's it. Love ya.